The International Miners Mission works in Romania around Târgu Jiu in the Gorj district. In the 10 years since the last film was made, Romania has made strides ahead economically. Modernization is to be seen everywhere, from Bucharest to the provincial towns. New cars, new trains, new technology. Widespread use of mobile phones and gaudily painted houses. The conditions of many roads are now excellent. Even Romas or gypsies have a more settled life with their own houses. In the country areas, life still goes on very much as it has for centuries, with each household having its own freeholding. The gospel remains unchanged, but for outreach to town people, it means adapting to accelerating change and material wealth, while facing the same traditional attitudes in the country areas. Târgu Jiu is the centre of the mission's activities in Romania. The town has grown, and it's now like any other Western town. Its main attraction is the intriguing sculptures by the world-renowned Constantin Brâncuș. While materialism is spreading, the Orthodox Church still has a mystical, decidedly superstitious grip on people's lives. The Gorj district is still the single largest coal-producing area in Romania, and 36% of all electricity comes from its power stations. The Rovinar mine, with its 3 open-cast sites, employs many from the Târgu Jiu area. This is where the evangelists have established the most direct, fruitful contact among miners. The assistant manager seemed well disposed towards the work, even attending the Friday evening prayer meeting to thank the mission's reps for their escorted visit. However, with many mines closing down, the focus of the mission is increasingly on ex-miners and their families. Mines operating 10 years ago have closed, with its unsettling effect on family life. The Miners' Mission still targets its support around the Maranatha Baptist Church, where Cornel Houdelin and Sander his wife are still at the helm. Despite physical injury, he continues to lead and inspire. Whereas there were only 2 evangelists supporting him, now there are 5. Their responsibilities lie mainly in the village churches outside Târgu Jiu. The central church continues to attract young people. Some of them even come to the weekly prayer meeting. The church gave a warm welcome to the mission's 4-yearly conference held there in 2010. Prayer for the mining work is a regular feature. There are 8 church plants, several serving ex-miners and their families. We visited 5 of them. Progoria is over 20 miles away from Târgu. The work has been badly hit by the closure of the Alben mine, and though numbers have dropped, Michaela explained that she has plenty of opportunities for the gospel.
We try to bring the word of God among them. And being a nurse, I help people with medicine, consultation. We listen to them and we try to help them.
Michaela, are you seeing many results from your work?
They ask us many questions about Jesus, about salvation, and we are happy to give them the response, the real one. It is very hard to work with people. Sometimes we have good responses, but sometimes not.
So a lot of the people who used to work in the mine are without work and must have a lot of problems to face, social problems.
I think losing their jobs and having no money brings them closer to God.
A dozen miles up the road lies Rogia de Amaradia, where a large mine remains open and Daniel works as a foreman. Despite the mine being barred to any open evangelism, friendships are being made. Pray that doors will be opened. 2 years ago, a severe subsidence destroyed several houses. This miner explained how he had to rebuild his whole house from scratch. Life, he says, is hard, and just about the only perk is a yearly ration of coal, a ton dumped in front of workers' houses. Rasova is a rural, non-mining village on the edge of the Carpathian Mountains. The Orthodox Church in such villages exerts considerable influence, creating ignorance of the scriptures and much fear. There's a small church with Sunday services being led by 3 evangelists who visit on a rota basis. Bebe has a particular oversight here and his sister lives nearby. The Târgu Căbănești Church has plenty of room for expansion, with a large plot of land to the rear that could be developed or rented out. The surrounding area is largely Roma, but there's tension between the Gypsies and the Romanians here, and this has led the church to reconsider the ethnic group it should be focusing on. Vali often shares his faith in the market square.
Sometimes the people, it's free and coming to the marketplace in the morning. Speak with young people, no go to school because go to school in the afternoon, come here in the morning, have the truck and New Testament and speak in the place with people in the square and invited in the church. Have a little speak about Jesus, about life, about economic life, because have a little, friendship with the people.
Dănești is another rural church, but it appears to be thriving and there is a substantial children's work here. Vali's mum and family attend. The Orthodox Church is strong here. For example, if villagers don't keep the feast of St. Elijah, it's taught that they risk being killed by thunder from this saint. Vali needs prayer as he shoulders the major share of pastoral oversight. Simbotin Church is the latest one to be built, but its history goes back a long time, as Sylvia explains.
First Christian in this village was a young girl named Elena, and he heard the word of God in a church, and he returned at home and told her parents about Jesus Christ. A short while they became Christian, and they started to pray for a church here in this village. They prayed together during 30 years. So after 30 years of prayer, we have a church here.
We started the work 3 years ago.
Actually, we started the work 10 years ago in the next village, and because we hadn't a land, we moved here.
But God bless us and help us to buy a land here and build a church.
We are so grateful because God provided us with this church. We thank Him.
Welcome in our church in Simbotin. Yeah.
Today the church is being officially opened, and the crowd outside comprises the miners' reps from several countries, the choir from Târgu Jiu, church members, and a number of village folk coming out of mere curiosity.
Necuvântarea pe care a spus-o Solomon, nici jos pe pământ. Tu ți legământul și îndurarea față de robii tăi.
Prin jertfa Domnului Iisus, oameni mântuiți și oameni nemântuiți, care să primească în locul acesta. Aleluia! Amin! Domnul!
Și prin harul Domnului e complet.
Slăvit să fie Domnul!
Amin!
Aleluia!
10 years on, the work is expanding. New communities of believers are being formed. The work among miners continues, but it's increasingly among families of ex-miners made redundant. Amidst opposition from the Orthodox Church, the light of Jesus is still piercing the darkness of secularism, superstition, and fear.
Thank you.